But he didn't have confidence.
That's
clearly.
So what I'm saying is he had confidence, but it was indirectly, because in 60-something years, you got a job from somebody. You did something and you talked. You negotiated. You just didn't navigate this world by not going to people and talk to them. You have confidence. You just didn't get with the right person to show you how to develop confidence for a woman.
I could see that. Okay.
So what I'm saying is, so you feel that the solution that he is, this guy, I don't know if he's with a doll, but I'm just saying, he's an example of somebody I could see electing to have a doll because he doesn't get opportunities and nobody takes him seriously. So if that's the case, what would be wrong with him having this companion? If he got a teddy bear, there are many people who sleep with teddy bears, not sleep with them, like sleep with them, but I'm just saying.
That's why it's different. Why are you making a comparison?
Well, no. I'm saying because a lot of these guys, they don't add the anatomical part. Some of them just have the physical, just the they're not the face and the shape and then in the dress, but they don't have the they're not taking the time to add all the other innards. Some guys that have all of that, but come on, seriously. You don't think there's any place for them?
Like I said, for me, I'm sorry, I don't. I mean, that why not?
Is it because of that component?
Why not use a fruit? Why not use fruit? Why not go and tailpipe for car? I'm just saying this is foolish. I'm saying it's again about self gratification. Why go to a brothel? Why not go to pornography? Why not have a doll? Because again, you are not making any contribution not only to the world, but you're only saying I want what I want. End of story. I want what I want, and I want it the best way that I can get it,
and it's fast or quick or whatever.
It's like and fast food with woman,
and without responsibility,
and without any responsibility.
And is that the part that bothers you most?
I think so, and also too the fact that it's kind of a cop-out, especially nowadays. Back then, there was no such thing as a sex doll, or there was, but they were silly and clunky and made fun of.
You blow them up. They had the blow-up ones.
But now, literally, it's literally like
they look like real. They look like real people.
Women. So now it's a cop-out. You know what? I can't deal with life.
They're adding AI. They're going to add AI at some point. I'm sure.
Yes, they are. That's the one we had begun watching.
Yeah,
and they were talking.
Yeah, they're talking about AI soon.
Yeah, and anyway, I feel like, again, I'm too big, I'm too this, I'm too that, I'm too ugly, I'm too whatever the case is. And so, let me go get a doll. Let me say something, too. Everyone is beautiful. I want to say that. Every single person out there is beautiful. And I don't mean that in a fake way. I mean that in a very little way. And there's two ways I believe that everybody's beautiful. There's either universally beautiful, where the vast majority of people find you attractive. Let's say Halle Berry. 9 out of 10 people are going to say she's a pretty good-looking woman. Cindy Crawford. 9 out of 10 people might say she's a good-looking woman. And then there's uniquely beautiful, which I believe most of us might be, where we are beautiful, but to specific people. We're unique. There's certain people. There may only be 2 out of 10 people that find me attractive, but,
And you found one of them.
But exactly. and I got one of them. However, they're out there. They exist. So I believe it's a cop-out to, I'm just too big. I don't want to work out. I don't want to look good. I'll just get a doll, and that'll solve my needs. I'm too unattractive. My face doesn't look good.
Well, what about the guy who's divorced 3 or 4 and 5 times, and he just doesn't have the resource time or bandwidth?
That's different. Go get you a doll now. Of course. No. The answer doesn't change. For me,
you don't feel the answer changes because of the circumstance?
No. Yeah, now that you've got 4 or 5 divorces under your belt, well, you know what? I think it's about time you go get a doll.
Clearly, he doesn't have the wherewithal to make it work.
But he does, but is he exercising? It's the same thing, I believe, as weight. I just can't. I just keep eating. I keep eating. No, you actually can do it. You're just not exercising the same way, I believe, with the exercising your willpower enough. I believe the same
I see what
thing
you're saying. Okay.
with the marriage. You can do it. You can make it work. Are you sacrificing? Are you giving up? Are you giving up yourself to make her happy, or the entire time through the marriage, are you squeezing her about every 5 seconds, asking her for sex, and sitting on the couch and watching football? You know what I mean? What are you doing? What's going on?
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to, for the sake of argument, let's just do for the sake of argument.
And telling her to get you a beer. Just had to add that little sting. Some women are like, he does that. He does that.
Yeah, you're going to have the ladies so upset with us, man.
No, hey, with those guys out there, we're not like that, right?
No. Oh, my God. Yeah.
Why would I want to give up something that comes lubricated? Okay.
He went south. Just like that. Literally just went south. Literally,
yeah,
I know.
I cut.
You got to do that. I thought that'd be funny. Beep. That'd be great.
So we're gonna have to be mindful of the FCC on this one. But I will tell you this: the thing that I think surprised me, and of course I am totally, I was really caught off guard that this was even a documentary. That because I think I saw probably the same documentary
about the ones about
the guy at the end they were talking about the expanding of it, that they're going to have artificial intelligence is going to be like Siri talks back to you.
Okay, yeah.
So it can actually have a voice. It'll actually be animated, and as they animate these things, they'll cover them over with whatever the covering they have on them now. They'll just add animation to them. And then you can get them to order. You can have the blonde hair or the brown hair or whatever, and you can pick up all of these things. And there's apparently a company that you can go check it out. Yeah, check it out. Yeah. See, because I don't know if we want to give that over the air.
No,
we don't want to encourage anybody to go out and do this. But what we are saying is this: clearly, there is such a need for female companionship of a substantive type that guys have started to resort to this. That's the sad part about it. Okay, so it's not just that we can jump down the throat of the guys. We have to recognize that we're in a society now that values looks and money and models and this and all of that. And if you don't have those things, it's very, very difficult for some guys to navigate. Now, if you've had more than your share, I mean, obviously, some guys get much more attention than others. Obviously, Nola's had more attention than pretty much anybody on the planet. But other than that, for the rest of us mere mortals, we have to recognize that we have to be selective from the choices that we have. And I think a lot of guys have so few choices that they choose to say, well, I can't deal with the hurt. I've been through this. I've been through that. And that's why many of them elect, I think, to go this route. Not saying it's justified. I'm simply saying it is what it is. So the question now is, how do we help them move from where they are to where they need to be?
For me, again, and I don't want to say this as the last kind of thing on that before I answer what you said exactly, but I believe that we as humans, whether it's just Americans or just humans, period.
Human beings, sure.
We're making sex the pinnacle of a man's life.
Right.
We're making that, that is everything that a man lives for. And I believe if sex dolls can provide that main thing, if brothels can provide that main thing, if pornography can provide that main thing, why procreate? Why create a family? Why teach a family the right way to go and impact the world?
Why get in a relationship?
Why get in a relationship?
Well, clearly,
the devil would love, in my opinion, nothing more than for you to go home to your sex doll, have sex alone, and never impact the world in the way that you were meant to. That's what I believe. I genuinely believe that would be his ultimate. I can have this man by himself, never creating a family, teaching little boys, teaching little girls how they should grow up, spreading that message throughout the world, helping, building up, encouraging. No, I'll just have him by himself in his one-bedroom apartment having sex with a sex doll and watching pornography. Got him, coach.
I think your point is well made, that we have to be more mindful of the society that creates the thinking that would allow it.
Mm-hmm. Good point, yeah.
Okay, so what I'm saying is we have now created a world where we have social media, but we don't have any socialization.
Exactly.
We have
social.
We are not. Yeah, there are not interactions.
They're all faux.
Yeah, they're all through Facebook photos and likes and thumbs up. That replaces a genuine handshake or a genuine hug. Now we have computers matching us up with potential other mates for whatever purpose we would like. We list that, and then we sift through,
weed through,
and then what is it? Swipe
discard,
left,
swipe left, swipe right,
something like that.
Discard, whatever.
Yeah. So if somebody has 89% of what you want, and then
it's too long.
I can pick better. I'm going to go for 100%. Or whatever. Yeah. You can sort of use your thumb to rule out people in this world. And I think the sad part is that we have fostered a society of throwaway people.
Exactly. Wow, that's a good point.
We have fostered that. And the sad part is that because we fostered that, that's why many of the men have resorted to some of these things. And I'm not justifying it. I'm simply saying I believe a lot of guys have elected to opt out. And
exactly what you said.
And because they've elected to opt out, they're not contributing to the broader population, and that's what you were pointing out.
And who do we see in media? Who are we seeing on the movie screens? We're seeing these buff guys, these strong guys,
everything
whatever. And so these guys over here, if a woman had a conversation with Bob, with Brad, with Billy, and they may be a little overweight, but heck, they would find out Billy is absolutely awesome.
Right.
Billy treats them 100 times better than their
but they're not not looking for that.
But all they see is
swipe
Billy's chubby face. You know what?
Yeah.
Swipe.
Right.
So, and the same thing, and that's why Billy's having a hard time and saying, you know what? Forget it. Women don't actually like me. There are people out there, Billy. I'm talking to you. There are people out there that love you to freaking death, man. And I'm telling you that I believe that with a little searching and I believe prayer and some change in yourself and some looking and some introspection, you can find them.
That's a good point. I like the fact that you added prayer to it, because I think God can orchestrate some things that we can't as human beings, even though we've had all of our, we've got all of our technology and that kind of thing. Nola, you were getting ready to say something quickly.
Well, basically what I was going to do is piggyback on what he said, looking into self, prayer, and then also finding the right people to be amongst, those that's...
You mean like a church congregation or something?
It ain't even got to be church. I mean, just positive people that have, a different interest, a different mindset, a different outlook of life. Not one that's always focused on, oh man, you know what? They standing in the mirror more than a woman was standing in the mirror.
Sure,
Or did you get some last night? Yeah,
right. You don't need
like
those
that.
pretty boy kind of guys in your life. You don't need
people of substance. You need people of substance.
Right.
People of substance.
That's totally different than the norm, but it's more realist.
But the point you make is true. But the thing that's unfortunate is it's not that way because of our swipe left and swipe right society.
But that's why you pull away from that.
So how do you get guys and gals to unplug?
Well, first of all, going back to what Mustang said, we have to be more positive. We have to be more. You have to start looking inward and start realizing. But we're talking about a generation of newbies. I come from the old school where I actually had to go and sit down by a payphone and wait till two other guys get off of it just so I can call the girl that I met at school yesterday. Mm-hmm. Nowadays people they walk around with phones, so kids nowadays are more privy
to information,
and privilege, and they don't understand the hard work that comes with getting that kind of stuff. I had to work hard just to get a pager.
Right.
Right. Half of them don't even know what a pager is.
Right.
So when you're privy to getting technology exposed to you, and then you just have that ability, like you said, to just throw your thumbs left and right and just get rid of somebody, and you never even experienced conversation with that person.
Exactly.
But you just don't like how they look. Well, what if all of the good guys that you're interested in start shunning you, doing the same thing, and you look good?
Right.
Yeah.
So now you can kind of see how it feels. And of course, we talked about that a couple of episodes where people actually killed themselves because somebody got less likes.
Help us.
Yeah, we need to cover that topic again.
And this is beautiful people. That like when I sit back and I'm looking like, why did she kill herself? This girl looked good. But that has nothing to do with how she felt about herself.
Right. There you go.
So that goes back to just putting people in your surroundings that can say, hey, listen, we don't give enough affirmation to people.
Right. And we don't look for substantive relationships.
We don't, and we also are not cultivating them in real life. And I believe that's what we need to do. I believe we have a platform where we should actually be able to, and we should talk this, off mic, but been able to actually meet some of our fans, meet some of the people.
I think you're right. Yeah.
And just sit down together and say, hey, let's talk. Let's get off social media.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I think that going to a men's venue or a venue where we can invite some guys to talk with the panel, even families. It'd be interesting to see how women are going to fit into that whole thing, and if guys will be as vocal when they know that women are in the room. I think that's
a good point.
Yeah, because I think a guy is less likely to talk when his wife is sitting right across from him and he's asking a question about, what if she doesn't put out. I think that we do need to take it from social media to get it into the real world. And I think we need to start cultivating relationships with our fans and our I don't want to call them fans, but our listeners, because that sounds so strong. Our listeners, so that we can be more relevant.
You're listening to the Conversations from the Cave show with host Kirk Kennedy and the CFTC crew. CFTC is available for digital download on iTunes, iHeartRadio, and Spreaker.com.